Summary of the poem Warming Her Pearls by Carol Ann Duffy. Carol Ann Duffy's Warming Her Pearls is a dramatic monologue spoken by a lady's maid, revealing her intense, unspoken love and longing for her mistress. The poem explores themes of desire, servitude, class boundaries, and emotional repression. The speaker's role is to wear her mistress's pearls during the day so they will be warm when her mistress puts them on in the evening. This task becomes a symbol of intimacy and separation. The pearls connect the two women physically yet emphasize the gulf between them. The maid's passion is silent and hidden, while the mistress remains unaware, living in a world of ease, parties, and privilege. The imagery is sensuous and tactile, focusing on skin, heat, and touch. Words like warm, cool, white throat, and a slow heat entering each pearl suggest both physical closeness and restrained sexuality. The pearls act as a conduit, absorbing the speaker's warmth, but when they return to her mistress, the maid is left with a sense of loss. "I burn," she says, feeling the absence of what she cannot possess. The mistress is presented through glimpses, resting in the yellow room, choosing gowns, dancing, fanning herself, undressing at night. These details emphasize her glamour and freedom, contrasting with the maid's confined life in the attic. The rhythm and meter reflect this tension between control and passion. The poem is written in free verse, without a strict rhyme scheme, which allows the speaker's thoughts to flow naturally, like a private confession. Yet the lines are carefully measured, with a steady iambic undercurrent and frequent enjambment. Sentences often spill over line breaks, mirroring how desire cannot be contained by social rules or language. The 6 stanzas progress quietly, moving from the practical act of warming the pearls to the maid's secret thoughts, then to the mistress's nightly routine, and finally to the speaker lying awake, consumed by yearning. This gradual unfolding builds a rhythm of intimacy and suspense. Structurally, the poem's 6-line stanzas create balance and order, reflecting the maid's disciplined position, but within them the language pulses with suppressed emotion. Sensory details, sight, touch, scent, draw the reader into the maid's interior world. The faint, persistent scent on the pearls, the rabbit's foot dusting shoulders, the indolent sigh of blush beneath skin. Even the moonlight in the last stanza adds a quiet, luminous ache. Duffy's choice to keep the mistress silent intensifies the maid's solitude. Everything we learn is filtered through the speaker's imagination. Thematically, the poem addresses unfulfilled love, class division, and the invisibility of servants' inner lives. The maid's devotion is physical and emotional, but it cannot be declared. The pearls, an emblem of wealth and femininity, become a metaphor for the mistress herself, precious, cool, unreachable. The poem also explores how desire can transform ordinary work into something sacred and painful. The maid's service is not just duty but an act of adoration, though it leaves her lonely and burning with longing. Overall, Warming Her Pearls is a quiet yet intense portrait of secret passion. Its free verse, soft musicality, and intimate imagery create a rhythm of yearning, restraint, and loss, inviting the reader to feel the maid's hidden fire beneath the polished surface of domestic order.
Line-by-line explanation of the poem Warming Her Pearls by Carol Ann Duffy.
Line 1, next to my own skin, her pearls. My mistress. The speaker, a maid, begins by describing how she wears her mistress's pearl necklace against her own bare skin. This opening instantly creates intimacy, though it is indirect. She is not touching the mistress herself but something precious that belongs to her. The mention of my mistress sets up the power relationship. The pearls belong to someone higher in status, and the maid is only their temporary guardian. Line 2, bids me wear them, warm them, until evening. The maid explains that she has been instructed to keep the pearls warm until nightfall. The act of warming them is part of her duties, but it also has sensual undertones. The pearls are a physical bridge between servant and mistress, carrying the maid's body heat to the woman she secretly adores. Line 3, when I'll brush her hair. At 6, I place them. She looks ahead to another intimate task, brushing the mistress's hair. The specific time, 6 o'clock, emphasizes the ordered rhythm of service and the predictability of their routine, contrasting with the maid's hidden, restless feelings. Line 4, round her cool, white throat. All day I think of her. At the appointed hour, the maid sets the pearls around the mistress's pale neck. The description cool, white throat highlights the lady's refinement and distance, while the maid's confession that she thinks of her all day hints at obsessive devotion. Line 5, resting in the yellow room, contemplating silk. She imagines the mistress lounging in an elegant yellow room. The color suggests warmth, wealth, and brightness. The mistress is at ease, far removed from the servant's physical labor. Line 6, or taffeta, which gown tonight? She fans herself. The maid pictures her deciding between rich fabrics for her evening dress, silk or taffeta, and fanning herself with languid grace. The scene shows privilege and comfort, while also containing a soft sensuality. Line 7, whilst I work willingly, my slow heat entering. Meanwhile, the maid labors contentedly because her task involves something linked to her mistress. Her body warmth seeps into the pearls, a metaphor for her quiet passion flowing invisibly into this object. Line 8, each pearl. Slack on my neck, her rope. The pearls absorb her warmth as they hang loosely against her throat. Calling them her rope suggests both belonging and constraint. They tie the maid emotionally to the mistress and remind her of her servitude. Line 9, she's beautiful. I dream about her. A direct, heartfelt statement, the maid sees her mistress as beautiful and admits she dreams of her. It is a moment of honesty about the strength of her feelings. Line 10, in my attic bed, picture her dancing. At night, lying in her cramped attic room, the maid envisions the mistress dancing at an elegant gathering. The contrast between attic and ballroom shows the gulf in their social positions. Line 11, with tall men, puzzled by my faint, persistent scent. In her fantasy, the tall men who dance with the mistress notice a subtle fragrance clinging to her, the maid's own scent transferred from wearing the pearls. This image implies a secret intimacy known only to the speaker. Line 12, beneath her French perfume, her milky stones. The maid imagines that her scent lingers underneath the mistress's expensive perfume. Milky stones poetically describes the pearls, soft and luminous, reinforcing their sensual symbolism. Line 13, I dust her shoulders with a rabbit's foot. Recalling another duty, the maid speaks of gently brushing the mistress's shoulders with a soft rabbit's foot. The task is tender, bringing her physically close to the woman she loves. Line 14, watch the soft blush seep through her skin. As she dusts, she notices a gentle flush spreading across the mistress's skin. The description is intimate, highlighting the maid's attentive gaze. Line 15, like an indolent sigh. In her looking glass. The blush is compared to a lazy sigh, evoking ease and understated sensuality. The looking glass, mirror, introduces the idea of reflection, both literal and emotional, as the maid observes herself in the same space as her mistress. Line 16, my red lips part as though I want to speak. Seeing her own mouth open slightly in the mirror, the maid recognizes a desire to speak out, perhaps to confess her love, but she restrains herself, silenced by social and personal boundaries. Line 17, full moon. Her carriage brings her home. I see. A shift to evening, the mistress returns under a full moon, which gives the scene a romantic, almost theatrical glow. The maid anticipates her arrival with watchful longing. Line 18, her every movement in my head. Undressing. Even when apart, the maid imagines each of the mistress's movements. She pictures her undressing, showing how the speaker's imagination crosses into intimate territory. Line 19, taking off her jewels, her slim hand reaching. She envisions the mistress removing jewelry, including the pearls, and notices the elegance of her slim hand. The description elevates the mistress to something graceful and untouchable. Line 20, for the case, slipping naked into bed, the way. The mistress is imagined putting the pearls in their case and sliding into bed unclothed. The maid's fantasy mixes service details with sensual curiosity. Line 21, she always does. And I lie here awake. The maid knows this bedtime routine so well that it feels fixed in her mind. She lies awake, restless, thinking about the woman and the pearls. Line 22, knowing the pearls are cooling even now. She pictures the pearls losing the heat from her own body. This detail symbolizes how the link between her and her mistress is fading with the night. Line 23, in the room where my mistress sleeps. All night. The pearls rest in the mistress's bedroom, close to her but distant from the maid. The line underlines separation despite proximity. Line 24, I feel their absence and I burn. The poem ends with a powerful image. The maid senses the emptiness where the pearls once lay against her skin. I burn expresses her deep, unspoken passion and the painful yearning that consumes her while she lies alone.
About the poet. Carol Ann Duffy was born on December 23, 1955 in Glasgow, Scotland. She is one of Britain's most celebrated contemporary poets, admired for her accessible yet layered writing. Duffy moved to England as a child and began writing poetry in her teens, publishing her first collection, Standing Female Nude, in 1985. Her work often explores love, memory, feminism, social injustice, and the voices of people who are usually unheard, such as outsiders or figures from history. She is known for her skill with dramatic monologues, as in The World's Wife, 1999, which gives famous women from myths and stories a new voice. In 2009, Duffy became the first woman, the first openly gay poet, and the first Scottish-born writer to be appointed Poet Laureate of the United Kingdom, holding the post until 2019. Her clear language, wit, and emotional depth have made her poems widely studied and loved in schools and beyond.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.